Project Boro is now available as a podcast on your chosen podcast providers, so you can listen to every episode on the go. Simply go to the description of this video, click the link to the podcast provider of your choice, and subscribe or follow Project Boro, and you'll be able to find all episodes past, present and future right there for you to listen to on the go.
Another below par Boro performance, but hey, a win is a win.
As the Uruguayan curls one in. Oh, Middlesbrough take the lead!
What is up, guys? Matthew here. Welcome back to another episode of Project Boro. Today I am here to talk about Boro's 2-1 win away to Swansea in a game that I haven't seen. I did not watch this game live. I think it's the first Boro game this season I may have missed watching it live. I was away at a friend's birthday party, day drink, whatever you want to call it, and as you can probably tell, I am both hungover and I've also picked up a cold. So I am doubled down with feeling absolutely dreadful. So please do commend the dedication to this series that I'm still here giving you guys my thoughts on this game. As I say, I didn't watch this game live. I've only seen the highlights and the goals and had a little bit of insight from a couple of the guys I know who watched the game, so I have an idea on how the game went, how Boro played as a collective. Didn't really have as much to say on the individual performances, but what I gathered here was that Boro did not play that great at all, were the second best team for the most part, especially the first half, and essentially stolen a victory because of Swansea not having their shooting boots on and being very wasteful in front of goal, and their goalkeeper potentially having the biggest brain fart you may see in football, gifting Boro almost an open goal, you could say, both metaphorically and literally, for what turned out to be the winning goal. So let's get into the game then. Boro, of course, went to the Swansea.com stadium, which I still find a rather hilarious name, off the back of 3 consecutive defeats. We'd only won, was it 1 in our last 5? We weren't on a great run and we were losing ground on the playoffs. Plenty of injured players still out here, although a few are getting closer. We still had the same side that pretty much played in the last game, which was the home defeat to Hull City, of course, other than Bangura coming in for Lucas Engel. And it felt like a big game because we were also, as well as losing ground on the playoffs, potentially losing even more ground, we were playing a side who were below us in the table. And the last thing Boro want to do at this moment in time is stop looking up and start looking over our shoulders. And by hook or by crook, the performance here was not great. But honestly, I don't think the importance of this victory can be understated. I think this could be a ginormous 3 points given the fixture congestion where Boro are right now, the injuries at this point in the season. Listen, a win is a win and I will take it in any way, shape or form. So I'm over the moon that we've got this result. I think Swansea will be extremely disappointed they didn't get at least a point from this game, but Boro come away with the lot. And as I say, it was a lot down to Swansea being wasteful, especially in the first half. From the highlights I've seen and from what I've gathered, Swansea had so many opportunities in the first half. Boro were not good at all and looked especially concerning defensively in this one. A number of chances went Swansea's way. Humphreys at the back had a wonderful opportunity early on. He had a header which he really should have gotten on target. Free kick come in from the right hand side. Senny come out, missed the ball. Probably distracted Humphreys in all honesty, but looking back he pretty much had to just get it on target and it would have been a goal. That was a golden opportunity missed there, and it wasn't the only one either, because I think Josh Key, his name might be, he had a free header once again after a cross come in from the right hand side. He was in between Boro defenders, he wasn't being picked up by anybody, and again, could have scored quite easily from that opportunity, ended up missing the target entirely. And another opportunity come in the first half as well. Walsh was played in by Jamal Loin off the left hand side, and again, either side of Seny Dieng, it's a goal, and he somehow missed the target entirely, and Boro were well and truly let off in the first half after what looked like some really schoolboy defending. And listen, on another day against the top side with real quality, Boro would have been 2 or 3 down at this point undoubtedly. But we did perform daylight robbery and a smash and grab, as we did nick a goal at the end of the first half, and it was via Sam Greenwood. Matt Crooks won the ball high up in the Swansea half, played in Sam Greenwood, and he slotted perfectly into the far corner. I think Swansea equally will be just as disappointed from a defensive point of view that we were able to pick up the ball in such a dangerous area, playing Greenwood, who was in so much space, and he had the time to slot the ball into the corner. And I think they'll be very disappointed with the goal conceded. And Boro went into half-time 1-0 up, despite being by miles the second best team. And I guess all you can say is Boro took their chance and Swansea didn't. And listen, a lot of times this season, and you guys will know when we've discussed Boro games in Project Boro throughout the season, I have said it over and over again. Boro have been wasteful in front of goal, and quite often the opposition has scored with the few opportunities that they've had. So I'm not going to complain or feel any sort of sympathy for Swansea when it comes to Boro finally, I guess, getting fortunate at one end and actually taking their opportunity at the other, because the shoe has been on the other foot many times this season. But in the second half, Swansea did get what you've got to say they deserved, as Jamal Lowe did level things up just before the hour. And again, across this time from the left-hand side, Lowe was the wrong side of Rav Vandenberg, who I believe had a fantastic game, but from this highlight, he was just the complete wrong side of Jamal Lowe. Should not have been behind him. He had a free header, and Jamal Lowe did make the most of it and headed Swansea level. And given the flow of the game from the first half onwards, if I was watching this game live, I would have really been worried for Boro at this point, because Swansea finally got level, got what they deserved, and it was game on from that point. And it seemed like a more even second half, though, in fairness. Both sides continued to have chances. Boro had one in particular with Isaiah Jones being played in behind. He did really well up until the finish, which was straight at the goalkeeper. And it was the Swansea goalkeeper who gifted Boro an opportunity to get the winning goal. And I mean, I'd love to know what you guys think in the comment section below, because the ball was played in. One of the defenders, I don't recall which it was. It might have been Cabango, it might have been one of the midfielders, I don't recall. But yeah, was it an interception? Was it a back pass? I think from certain angles it looks like both. I think from behind the goal it looks like a back pass to me. Now, I'm obviously going to say that because I'm a Boro fan, but regardless, I think the goalkeeper should look at that and think that I'm not going to take a chance on picking this ball up in my own box, because I'm giving the referee a decision to make. A bit like when a player is booked and they go into a silly tackle, and even though it's soft, you're giving the referee an excuse to send you off and give you a second yellow card. It's a bit like that. I feel like the ball was played back. I know everything's happening unbelievably quickly, but to me, if I'm the goalkeeper, just pass it out for a throw-in. Pass it out for a corner. Anything other than giving away an indirect free kick. And honestly, I think it's a back pass. I do think it's a back pass. I think there is an argument to say it's an interception, and the goalkeeper will obviously argue that. But for me, I think it's a back pass. The goalkeeper has a bit of a brain fart, picks the ball up in his own box, and the referee does give Boro a very rare indirect free kick. You do not see these very often, do you? Free kicks in and around the box, but it was a free kick on the 6-yard line. But you know what? I've seen plenty of these, and it's not as easy as it looks. You know, when you've got literally a wall of players on the goal line. You've got the goalkeeper. To pick a spot and get it in from there is not as easy as it looks. And fair play to Sammy Silvera, because he didn't try and blast it, he didn't try and power it, he didn't try and go for a top corner. He kept it low, he drilled it to the left, and he picked out the bottom corner perfectly and gave Boro the win in what was the decisive goal in the contest. And Boro do come away from the Swansea.com stadium with all 3 points, courtesy of a goalkeeping howler, and I guess Swansea not taking their chances. Now, looking at the Boro ratings, it did look like we had some improved performances out there today. Rav Vandenberg, I heard, was pretty good. Got a lot of man of the matches that I could see. Same with Bangura. Apparently he had a fantastic game. And might give Carrick some food for thought when it comes to him or Lucas Engel playing on that left-hand side. Barlas and Housen seem to have a better game here. Of course, we do believe Hackney is close to being back, but it's good to see Barlas and Housen having a better game here, but I still am not convinced by them in terms of how consistently they do perform. The three behind Lath seem to have a much better game too. Of course, Isaiah Jones did almost get himself on the score sheet. Crooks set up the opening goal with a very good assist, got man of the match here on Footmob, and Greenwood got himself a goal. And that's the story of Sam Greenwood. You know, he doesn't put in many top draw 90-minute performances, but he keeps picking up goal contributions and took his goal extremely well. So, you know what, good on him. He's dropped off in form recently, so it's great to see him getting back on the score sheet. And Latty Lath seemed to just drop a anonymous average performance. Really didn't really see much of him in terms of highlights. Substitutions, of course, Rodgers and Silvera combined for the winning goal. It's quite hilarious that Rodgers gets an assist for that, but he did. As I say, Silvera took his goal incredibly well given the circumstances. But there is one concern, and that was that Tom Glover had to come on in the 90th minute for Seny Dieng, who went off injured on the 90th minute. And I mean, you guys may or may not know if you follow me on Twitter or you follow me online, I am a massive, massive Seny Dieng superfan. I am the leader. I'm in charge of the Seny Dieng fan club. I think he's absolutely amazing. And to hear, I got a text off the fiancé to say that he got injured. And when I saw that text yesterday, my heart genuinely sunk, because Boro have got a lot of injuries, but to lose Seny Dieng is, it's a huge blow. And I've not heard anything in terms of the extent of the injury, but I can only pray that it's not too serious, because Boro simply just cannot have any more players out, especially Seny, who plays such an important part in how Boro build from the back. He makes some very good saves when needed, and I think has been probably our best signing, in all honesty. A genuine upgrade on what we had last season, and I love him, and I pray that it's nothing too serious. I've heard it's muscular, which can mean 100 different things. And if the worst is the worst, then my only positive is that if he is out for a few weeks, he might not be able to go to AFCON in January with Senegal, and he might have to stay at home and not be selected for their squad, which means he might not end up being out and away with Senegal for the whole of January and into February. He might be able to stay with the Boro and just play for us whenever he's back in January. So that's the only positive there. So we will wait and see what comes of that. In terms of stats and momentum, as you can see, it was a lot more of a sort of up and down first half. Swansea having the most of it, especially just after the half-hour mark. Boro did have a good spell towards the end when they did get the goal. Second half, as I say, seemed very, very much more even. Swansea were on top when they got their equaliser, and then after that, the game was sort of a little bit iffy-affy there, and no one really had a proper grip of it. But Boro got the goal when was needed. Boro actually didn't have possession, which doesn't happen very often, but Swansea outpossessed Boro, had the higher XG, which is something I've noticed is starting to happen a lot in Boro games. Earlier in the season, you guys will recall, we often outscored and out-XG'd sides. Well, out-XG'd, not outscored, should I say. We often out-XG'd teams, but still come out on the losing side. We seem to be doing the opposite now. Teams are having more XG than us and are either beating us or we're beating them. But yeah, we did have less XG, although we had more shots on target. Swansea will be extremely disappointed they didn't take more of their opportunities. But yeah, the all-important stat is the goal-scoring one, and Boro come out of it by winning 2-1. Looking at the Championship table, it was a big win for Boro because the league pretty much is as is compared to where we were to the playoffs. The gap is still 6 points, so anything less than a win, and we would have been quite far off, which would have certainly been a blow. So we've kept touch with the playoffs, essentially, but we're still 6 points off from Hull City. A bit of traffic in between with Sunderland 3 points ahead. Much better goal difference for Boro, but 3 points takes us up to 8th as it stands, so we're not that far off. There is just a huge queue of teams trying to get into the top 6, and we happen to be towards the bottom end of that queue at the moment. The main thing is we've not lost any ground, and we've just got to hang in there for as long as possible until we get more players back, and I'm hoping we can find some consistency, because in all honesty, at the moment, I don't think Boro have got the consistency to maintain a top 6 push, but returning injured players and possible bolstered signings in January might change that. So this is how things are looking going forward. Boro do have a huge League Cup quarter-final on is it Tuesday night, when we play Port Vale away from home. I will be bringing you guys a special midweek Project Boro based off of that. Look at the injury list there. It is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, it's going to be incredibly interesting to see if Boro, despite their form at the moment, can get themselves into a League Cup semi-final, which would be incredible. We're pretty much guaranteed a two-legged affair up against a top Premier League side. So I'm very excited to see if we can make it through and give ourselves a really exciting League Cup semi-final. I've just noticed Port Vale lost 7-6. Oh, it was on penalties. That's FootMob misleading me massively there. It said that Stevenage beat them 7-6, but some of them goals were via a penalty shootout. But yeah, Port Vale, similar to Boro, aren't in great form right now. Listen, it's a game Boro should win, and it would be extremely disappointed if we didn't. It's a great chance for us to make the last 4 of a major competition. So there will be a Project Boro midweek on that. And again, at the weekend when we host West Brom, which is going to be a very, very tough game. West Brom, despite maybe dropping off in recent games, are in the playoffs and have got themselves playing pretty decent, I'd say. So that's going to be a huge chance to claw 3 points back to West Brom. If they beat us, they'll go 9 points clear, and they're one of the teams we're having to chase down. So it's a must not lose for me, I would say, at the weekend before coming back on Boxing Day, heading to Rotherham. Literally, the games are thick and fast. I mean, we're on the 17th of December, so Boro have got 4 games in the next 12 days. Lots of football to be played, lots of Project Boros to get through, and I pray we get a lot of our big names back for that. But that's it, guys, for today's Project Boro. A little bit shorter. As I say, I didn't watch the game live, but all is important is that Boro got the 3 points. And I'm hoping we can just, boost our confidence that little bit more with a win midweek. And hopefully an exciting tie in the last 4 in the League Cup semi-final. But I'll chat to you guys midweek to see if that is the case. Until then, please do hit the like button if you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more. And do not miss an upload by hitting the notification bell, of course. Comment below your thoughts if you're a Boro fan, a Swansea fan or a neutral fan, and giving me your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you are listening to me over on them podcast providers, do give me a like and a rating on there, and subscribe to me too, so you never miss when a Project Boro drops on your podcast provider. But until next time, guys, I'm going to go and have a lemsip, probably a cup of tea, chill for the rest of the evening, and look forward to some more Boro midweek. But until then, do take care, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.